robots. They allow us to do a lot of cool shit. But what if one day we created robots that had just as much capability to think, feel, and act as we did? Would they have rights? Would they have to pay taxes? Would they still get shitty service at Starbucks even though they're cool robot people? I mean, I'd kinda hope so. It'd probably be discrimination otherwise. But that's beside the point. The Talos Principle is an asshole. I got called to that guy's office like 6 times. And it was always for stupid shit, like drawing in class. The teachers would say something like, "Stop doing that," and I'd have to defend myself, saying like, "No, it helps me focus." Sometimes. Other times I was just distracting myself. But who are you to tell me which one it is? Asshole.
Well, apparently, the Talos Principle is not an obnoxious dean.
Lousy dean!
It's a game made by Crow Team, the same guys who made Serious Sam. Apparently they took some time from designing run-and-gun alien shooters to create a philosophical puzzle game that will have you questioning not only life, but religion, humanity, and occasionally your sanity. God damn it, how the hell do I do this puzzle? Oh.
I think this game's kinda unique in the sense that it doesn't necessarily preach to you, but it's not really subtle about its theming either. And if you've played the game, you kinda know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, well, just sit back and let's explore this not-so-subtleness together.
So you boot up a new game and are immediately calmed by the soothing boot-up process.
Man, if only my computer showed clouds when it booted up, my blood pressure'd be, like, better.
Next, the first thing you hear is a booming voice in the sky, the self-proclaimed god of this land, Elohim.
Hear now my voice, and know that I am your maker.
Yeah, okay man, prove it. I'm gonna need a little more than a few voice filters to convince me of God. I can do that shit in Audition.
See, I'm God now. Bow before me or else I'll rain down my fury of never-ending pasta bowls.
I'm a god to be feared, but also not one to let people go hungry.
Take that, God. Adam 1, God 0. Offend 84% of people on Earth? Check. Man, I should really start improving my bucket list.
Anyway, he says that you're his creation and that we can seek him out if we're deemed worthy, which of course means solving all of the puzzles he's graciously left out for us to enjoy. And die in. Your first birthday gift ever is a seemingly unlimited amount of deadly labyrinths to solve. Wow, thanks, Dad. What's next, having the party at Chuck E. Cheese? So yeah, this guy says that you can reach him if you're worthy or whatever, and to never ever climb that tower, because it is to you what the Tree of Forbidden Knowledge was to Adam and Eve, apparently. And I totally want to go up there, but I won't. And I mean, there's actually something really cool about this. The tower was presented before I had finished all the puzzles, so I was worried that if I went up there, I wouldn't be able to fully complete the game. I mean, come on, that's pretty badass design, placing temptation directly on the player in your game. Questioning God and existence and shit.
Pretty radical, I must say.
And this supposed God also warns you of a deceiver who will try to turn you away from him. So yay, even more illusions! Again, not very subtle ones, but they actually do a really well job of making you feel practically the same feelings that someone in the position of Adam or Eve must have felt. But yeah, the story in this game is actually pretty intriguing. The computer library database seems to have a personality as you talk to it. You're constantly being overlooked by a dude calling himself God, and from this you start to question your own motives for even completing the puzzles. Are you scared for uncovering the truth? Selfish for being content to roam about? If this guy weren't really God, does that even matter since you're having such a good time running around in puzzles, picking up keys and shit? And okay, that's another thing. You're an advanced robot with virtually unlimited fucking capabilities, and you're still reduced to using rusty old keys.
I guess some things really never change.
Shit. I wonder how long it took our robot friend to find the right one to put in there. Well, anyway, back to pondering. Why is your existence seemingly limited to these puzzles? Would it bother you if you're being lied to by Elohim? Also, why can't I have access to an admin account on these computers, god damn it? These are pretty incredible and relatable questions for a video game to be inspiring. Especially that admin account one. That's just like my daily life. Other little details scattered around the world are QR codes that display a message from robots just like you and who have been through the area before, as well as phantom robots who wander around allowing you to follow them and see what direction they've moved in before they dissipate into the ground. It's fucking weird, man. These help you to not feel like you're playing in a ghost town, and that other cool robot people have been through here. You can even leave your own mark on the world by painting messages for others. Oh, god damn it. Another element that adds to this is the computer monitors that reside in each level. They each hold at least 3 documents from the library, often partially censored, which help you to slowly piece together what the hell's happening. Occasionally, you'll run into the MLA, the Milton Library Assistant, who will attempt to help you find some answers.
However, one of the more intriguing things to note about this game is its connections to Greek mythology.
Basically, Talos was a huge bronze automaton. He protected the island of Crete from invaders, but he was defeated one day when his single vein, which ran down from the back of his neck to his heel, was struck open. Thanks, Latin class! Anyway, the thing to take away here is that Talos was basically made human from this substance. This relates to the Talos Principle and the question both stories raise: what makes any of us human? In the Talos Principle demo, it's defined as the Stratton's famous empirical claim that what it is to be human is reducible to mechanical explanations. Now let's forget this Stratton because I have no idea what the hell that's about, but I assume that now you get the connection. We're left to question what it is that makes us, well, us, and not the device in front of you allowing you to watch this video. I mean, I guess the list of differences for that is more than, like, a dog, but I'm pretty sure you get the point I was trying to make. The gameplay features player exploration and puzzle solving. There are 3 hubs, each with 7 immediately accessible levels. In these are a handful of puzzles. These puzzles are solved by the means of your own wit and certain tools you may be granted. They're pretty cool and fun and are the most satisfying things to finish. Like, there was one puzzle in the demo that, holy shit, when I beat it, it was fucking amazing. And no, not the main puzzle, I'm talking about like a secret that was outside of the fucking puzzle. It took me like maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, I don't even know how long, to beat it, but I finally figured it out, and it felt so fucking good. I had initial trouble on the very first few, getting to know the mechanics and stuff, but you know, that's kinda how every game is. I did die from this black ball of death, but I mean, come on, he did initially look like a friendly black ball of death. However, I quickly realized this was not the case. Some of the puzzles are really hard too, like this one, and even this one. Like, what the fuck? So basically, whenever you finish one of these puzzles, you're rewarded with these Tetris-shaped things. They call them sigils. And you use these to then solve little puzzles to unlock new areas and new tools to do new puzzles. It's really neat, because then I'm excited every time I get a new sigil. One step closer to a new thing or a new area. It's pretty cool, I like it. On the other hand, the exploration leads to finding out more of the game's story. This makes it interesting in the sense that getting very connected to the story is almost completely optional. I like how it's tackled in this game, rewarding exploration for a larger understanding, giving you the option if you're not super interested but just want to get straight to the hardcore puzzle action. Something else cool about the exploration is that it leads to finding stars in places you wouldn't expect them. Stars are just like sigils, but just better, I guess. And they're really fun to find. I found a couple, like this one, and this guy. I guess they unlock secrets or something. I found an unmarked passage in a hub with a door that required some to unlock, so I think there's something cool behind there. Or maybe I already unlocked it, and I'm just not gonna tell you what's in there. Maybe you should just fucking play the game for yourself and find out, huh? Another key gameplay factor that's completely optional is the perspective. I chose to play the game in third person because I felt like it helped to drive home the fact that my buddy here's an awesome robot guy, but it also enforces the mechanical theming of the game. It never hindered my ability to solve puzzles, and honestly I really enjoyed it because unlike Dead Space's camera, which was constantly waiting in the wings to give Isaac Clarke a colonoscopy, this camera is the perfect distance back from your character.
It's like when you're around that girl you like. You want to hang out nearby so that you can talk to her if conversation occurs, but you don't want to be too close for fear of being a creep. Dead Space is the creep, and the Talos Principle is me.
In terms of visuals, the game is really varied and beautiful. Each hub has a certain overarching theme, and the levels reflect that theme, often taking it to new places. For example, the first hub has a theme of mostly greenery and ancient ruins. However, later levels push that theme further, to the top of a hill on an island. The surrounding area is absolutely stunning and really complements the meditative and thoughtful nature of the game. Honestly, I'll just play the second audio diary found in this level to fully convey my point.
The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history has games. We don't just solve problems out of necessity. We do it for fun. Even as adults. Leave a human being alone with a knotted rope, and they will unravel it. Leave a human being alone with blocks, and they will build something. Games are part of what makes us human. We see the world as a mystery, a puzzle, because we've always been a species of problem solvers.
It's very emotional, as you can tell. Speaking of audio diaries and segues, the Talos Principle's audio is absolutely fantastic. From its beautiful score to the subtle nuances of its sound effects, this game perfectly creates serene, warming atmospheres. It's a very balanced game in terms of gameplay, but also visuals and audio. The best thing is that the simplistic audio is just distinct enough to enrich the gameplay to maintain immersion and interest, yet subtle enough to not detract from the far superior visuals. Just like in porn.
Yeah, you fucked
God, that ruined the auditory composition.
But while there are the subtle parts of the audio, such as the music and the footsteps, there's also the audio diaries. I played one just a second ago, if you'd forgot. These very much have soothing effects, helping you get into a state of relaxation and really think about the game and just life, man. You're like the first ever robot hippie.
I think my only real complaint about this game is that it's just a rip-off of Portal and another vaguely similar puzzle game.
Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to get this out sooner, but there were some problems that delayed it. Personal affairs, as well as rebranding for the third time. Anyway, thanks again, and if you really enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. You'll be able to see more of this all-new Adamnator season, I guess. And special thanks to my buddies Liam and Jack Bros for providing great porn sounds. They did really well. But yeah, I'm fucking done, I guess, so I'm out, bitches. Woo! Oh, shit.
Mm.